In this episode, a ton of proverbs, donkeys, bees with the engine, godfathers, and mummies.
Benvenuti a Savoca. I wish you could stay here. When you want to come back, I will stay here, waiting for you.
Today we arrive in Savoca, eastern Sicily, at 300 meters above sea level. It is early morning, and like the Sicilian proverb says, a mattinata fa giornata. Waking up early in the morning, you have more time to do things during the day. Savoca has been a pearl for 2,000 years. Things that only Sicily can give. Sicily, as a cupid arrow, knocks out hearts from all over the world. A magic full of stone, history, Sicily to the latest power, and breathtaking views. A few live in Savoca, including several foreigners, and live a life of genuine peace and Sicily. The Ionian Sea, at not even 5 kilometers, today offers a wonderful photo of itself. You can also see Italy. Here in Savoca, about 20 years ago, we came on behalf of the Italian Public Radio to interview the mythical Miss Maria d'Arrigo, owner of the Bar Vitelli, where Al Pacino asked his beautiful daughter Apollonia in marriage to Mr. Vitelli. Do you remember? No? Does the Godfather tell you anything?
Sentite, che volete ancora? Dai, venite che dite a noi. Venite che prego con me. Fabrizio, adduci per me. Sì. I want to meet your daughter.
Vuole conoscere vostra figlia.
With your permission.
Con il suo permesso.
And under the supervision of your family.
E con il consenso di tutta la famiglia.
With all respect.
Con tutto il rispetto, naturalmente.
Venite domenica, mattina. Mi chiamo Vitelli. Abito in campagna, vicino a Ciume.
Grazie. E come si chiama vostra figlia?
Apollonia.
Del Pacino ho ricordi.
Of Al Pacino, I remember that he was always here near me quietly, because he did not know a word of Italian. While Coppola was terrible, he always said bad words. I remember that in those days, it was very hot, and while Coppola was cool under the umbrella, the actors had to try and retry the scenes, and were beaten by the heat.
Frank Coppola era un terribile. Parolacce che diceva, cattive parole in continuazione.
The others sweating, and Coppola that always screamed. Well, as the Sicilian would say, aiadina fa l'ova e oiado ci brucia il culo. The hen makes the eggs, and the rooster has his butt burning. It was a Savoca still almost in the shadow, then like today, from the great Sicilian atmosphere. And for this reason, Francis Ford Coppola chose it as one of the Sicilian places to immortalize for the Godfather. That's the chair where we did the interview with Mrs. Maria, the same one where Al Pacino sat. Today, Maria is not there anymore, and this episode, we would like to dedicate it to her. The bar is still there. It's very Sicilian, and it makes very good granite. Savoca inevitably leads us back in time, in an old-fashioned Sicily. And let's get the cecco then, which means dunk in Sicilian. Just behind the bar Vitelli, we arrive at the 17th century Capuchin convent. We are welcomed by the custodian Mrs. Grazia, who has a liking for us and allows us to visit the inner parts, where the monks lived. That is a fresco of the 1600 Saint Francis of Assisi. Let's go inside. Here we are in a refectory where the Capuchin monks ate, and even here you can see paintings of the 1600s.
No, certo.
You can be housed inside the convent, and the lady shows us the rooms. Then she takes us to another forbidden zone, the choir, where the monks sang during the Mass. Beautiful Gregorian chant, huh? From the terrace of the convent, you can see all the small Savoca, a scarf wrapped around the neck of the cliff. Mrs. Grazia now takes us to the crypt, where 17 mummies of famous Savogese rest. These seem to be dressed with the latest style.
Allora, sia i corpi che i vestiti sono savocesi.
Here in Savoca was produced the silkworm, and the clothes were made on the spot. You see what a nice pouch is this? Oh my God, I'm dizzy with all these mummies. Hello, Notary Salvatore. Bad wax today, right? Hello, Baron Altadonna. And I salute you too, Monk Bernardo. This is the youngest of all. He is just 200 years old, and he looks great for his age. The priest, Trischitta. Goodbye, dear Mrs. Grazia. Will you get embalmed? No, today is forbidden. Well, let's take a nice picture together before we go away. We get the shecco, and we go into the heart of the small village. How strange. The proverbs continue to whip in my head. Listen to this. Cudi shecco ne fa mulo. U prima cauce doso. Who makes of a donkey a mule, the first kick is his. So, little donkey, do not get offended. You'll remain a donkey at least for today, because if I call you mule, you will let it get to your head, and you'll start to gallop. The fascinating peculiarity of Savoca is also its urbanism, a square and a single street of medieval charm, that with a sort of horseshoe trajectory rejoins the square for a total of not even 2 kilometers. The center of this horseshoe, which is a wall on top of a cliff, probably inhabited since the Roman times, and today with the ruins of the castle of at least 1,000 years old. The shecco passes the medieval gate of the 12th century and leads us into the village. We're only missing the shotgun, and we will be the perfect Sicilian from the past. The shecco stops behind the house and nods at us to get down. And who are you? What do you mean, who am I? I'm the mother of the beautiful Apollonia.
Mamma mia, io sono cascato innamorato.
Ma vado su per la montagna.
Oh. E che sei rimasto colpito da un fulmine?
Giuseppe Muscolini si chiama, vero?
Michele, lascia perdere. In Sicilia le femmine sono come la lupara.
Mrs. Vincenza, a real Savogese, was in appearance recruited by Coppola to play the part of the mother of Apollonia, the beautiful Sicilian of which Al Pacino falls in love.
Chiedere innanzitutto. Buongiorno. Ma il mio numero, chi gliel'ha dato a me?
But listen, who gave you my number?
Numero Al Pacino.
Don't tell lies or your nose will grow, you know. Have a seat. This is Al Pacino, who brings a gift to Apollonia's mother. Come in. Come to the living room. Here, Mrs. Vincenza, Apollonia's mother, I have brought you a bottle of wine.
Questo pane l'ho preso qua.
E mia sorella che abitava lì allora mi ha mandato.
This is the day of Apollonia's wedding, and that's the man that they used to say that was my husband. But my husband, the real one, was more handsome.
Il marito che mi hanno affibbiato per quel giorno era una persona educatissima.
Then the lady invites us to eat something to be accompanied with bread, which is seasoned with salt, pepper, oil and oregano, and also olives and salami from Sicily. She tells us a little about Sicily of the past, some nursery rhymes, and also speaks of her children. Then we take a nice souvenir photo. We greet her and pick up the donkey. Look at that beautiful sculpture. It represents Savoca and is located right at the entrance of the village. A local artist did it, Enrico Salemi. There is the Sambuco, symbol of the village, the Capuchin monks, the castle, the churches, and the mummies. The little donkey brings us now to the Civic Museum, where the director Sandino Lombardo is our guide. There is a room dedicated to the Godfather, of course, and a lot of Sicily. The characteristic of the place is that the objects are accompanied by Sicilian sayings. That's why they come up to my head every minute.
O sangue da terra è l'acqua, o sangue dell'uomo è o vino.
O sangue da terra è l'acqua, o sangue dell'uomo è o vino. The blood of the land is water. The blood of man is the wine. There is also a torture gauge that I've never seen. It was stationed here in Savoca, in the prison, and the suspects were immersed in the well until they confess. This is a saying that commands the whole world. Può bere e può mangiare, s'ammazzano animali e cristiane. That is for women and food, you will do crazy things. In Savoca, as in the rest of the world, sadly, we leave the donkey, who must go to eat. And the bee takes us. A motor bee, of course. As we go inside Savoca, the view opens to the sea. Hey, this is the church where Apollonia got married to Al Pacino. It is the church of San Nicolò, Splendid of the 1250, also called the Church of the Godfather. I recognize Mrs. Apollonia behind the bride and groom. This is the only church in the world dedicated to the Godfather. They usually dedicate them to the saints. Well, actually, quite original. We go back to the motorbee and arrive at a small open space. There is a house with an extraordinary double-lensed window of the 1400s. I wish I had a window like that. Here there is also the mother church, built in the 12th century. In this church were mummified the bodies that were then taken to the Capuchin convent. This chair, ancient of centuries, is perhaps the oldest object of Savoca and to which we are very attached. It was the chair of the religious leader of the monasteries of the area.
Gentili signori cari, tutto quello che state vedendo.
Dear friends, what are you enjoying of Splendid Sicily has been possible because of our love and devotion to Sicily. Splendid Sicily is self-sustaining. It depends on donations from those who love Sicily and Sicilians all over the world. So, please, support us, otherwise, in a while, we'll be upside down.
Se amate veramente la Sicilia, altrimenti noi, fra un po', accappottiamo.
It is irresistible for us, as usual, to climb to the bell tower. We go on foot, and poof, poof, pan, pan, we arrive at the viewpoint of the village. From up here, the view is magnificent, a triumph of nature. Savoca is a wonderful place where several foreigners have bought a house and lived there. Even today, you can find something to buy among the ruins of the past. And we sneak in one of these houses in the hope that it won't collapse. Broo, what a fright! Here everything trembles. Well, then let's borrow another island proverb. Fuggire è vergogna, ma è salvamento di vita. Escaping, it's a shame, but it's life-saving. And read right now. We continue our walk in the Middle Ages, and this time we try to sneak in an inhabited house. Let's see a bit. Hey, is there someone? Can you hear us? Who are you? We are Sicilian travelers in Sicily. What about you? Finnish. Serpa the Finn lets us in. She's 84 years old, but she looks 20 less.
Sono cartografa.
She says that she was a cartographer and has an Italian citizenship, that came to Sicily for vacation and then fell in love and decided to stay here all her life.
Bellissimo. 63 forse. Pensando il gatto.
Come, I'll show you what I fell in love with in this house. My goodness, what a wonderful view. Now it's time to go back. Who's talking? We catch 3 elderly ladies seated in a small alley. Perfect prey for smashing Sicily. And even if we're in great delay, we get guided by the Sicilian saying that says, Buono tempo e malo tempo non dura tutto tempo. Good weather and bad weather doesn't last the whole time. And these 3 are a nice shot of good weather to catch all at once. We talk about Sicily. One of them 3. Listen, were you a part of a famous photograph for an advertisement company that was taken here in Savoca that recited like this, The Beauty and the 7 Beasts? The ladies knew nothing about this slogan, believing that they were posing for an advertisement company for a charity purpose. It's really true. Ubi si fidera a testa. The fish smells from the head. And in this stunt, they all stink. Who invented it and who put it into practice. Now it's really time to return, but not without stopping by the master Nino Uchino, a brilliant sculptor of the iron, with his works exposed all over the world. He also, here in Savoca, found his inspiration. We had a great time in this wonderful place. The beauty of Savoca left us speechless, perché amore, bellezza e denare sono 3 cose che non si possono ammucciare. Because love, beauty and money are things that you can't hide.